Welcome back. Now, having lost his older brother to kidney cancer at the end of last year, Peter Andre is determined to raise awareness to prevent more deaths.
Well, in the second of a brand new series, Peter meets 3.5-year-old Sofia and her family to find out firsthand what life is like caring for a child with cancer.
In this series, I'm revisiting the cancer hospital where my eldest brother received treatment for kidney cancer, the Royal Marsden, to meet some special people who are fighting cancer and the incredible ones who are standing beside them, helping them to fight. Here are my cancer diaries. I'm here today visiting the Oak Centre for Children and Young People, and although it's a fantastic place, it's not really a place that parents plan to bring their children. Here, children as young as 1 are being treated for cancer. This specialist centre is one of the largest of its kind in Europe, seeing almost 600 inpatients and more than 5,000 day patients every year. And 3-year-old Sofia is no stranger to the centre, having spent the last 3 months living between here and her home in Surrey that she shares with her parents Agna and Vinny and her 5-month-old brother Hugo.
Daddy!
How are you?
I need ice creams.
We're going shopping.
I'm too busy now. Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
In February this year, Sofia's parents' lives were turned upside down when they were told that their little girl had leukemia. In the 6 months leading up to that time, Sofia had been back and forth from the doctors with numerous chest, ear and throat infections. But one morning, Agna realised it was something more serious.
We were having breakfast and she started complaining with a tummy ache. And first I thought, okay, tummy ache in the morning, maybe too much porridge. And then we started putting shoes on and she started bending over saying it's really hurting. So I thought, okay, we'll go to emergency room, quickly get it checked and go to nursery. And we didn't leave the emergency room. The doctor, as soon as he saw her, he said she's probably anemic, so we need to do blood tests. And that evening, around 6, they said, yeah, it's 99% she's got leukemia. Really? Horrible, horrible. And Sofia, I'm sitting on her bed and she's sitting in front of me and I'm trying to stop myself from crying. And she's saying, Mommy, Mommy, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you crying? And I don't know what to tell her. So it will be fine, everything will be fine. She started giving me cuddles.
The news that Sofia had leukemia was difficult enough for Agna and Vinny to come to terms with. But with Sofia immediately starting an intensive course of chemotherapy, they were now faced with the unimaginable task of explaining the treatment to their 3-year-old daughter.
We're gonna stay together, yeah?
Mommy.
And Hugo and Daddy will come visit. They actually gave us a book. It's basically about a boy who was going to school, his first year at school, and he got leukemia, and it explains step by step everything. And she was going, yeah, I have a little port. I have this, I had needles in my arm.
I got this one.
And then the nurse takes some blood from your Wiggly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it has another little drink to drink. It's like she's not the only one. And then Joey lost his hair.
My hair's growing.
Yeah, and it's growing really big and very strong. To be honest, that book explained leukemia to us.
Yeah, more.
Because it's written in plain and simple English.
In the UK, around 1,600 children are diagnosed with cancer each year. That's 31 children every week, and leukemia is the most common form. Sofia's type of leukemia is called acute lymphoblastic leukemia, or ALL, which is cancer of the white blood cells. Sofia's first course of chemotherapy allowed doctors to target a large majority of her cancer. And today she is back in hospital to start her next round of chemotherapy using a drug called methotrexate with the aim of eliminating the cancer entirely.
We have a half-an-hour infusion, that's 10% of the dose, and that goes in as a boost. And then she has a bag that you'll see on her stand, and that will hang for 23.5 hours. And that will go over the next kind of day or so.
For people who don't know, including myself only until recently, what is chemotherapy?
Well, I usually say that chemotherapy is drug treatment. That just means medicines, really.
and it can be given in different ways. Sometimes chemotherapy is tablets or liquid given by mouth. Sometimes it's medicines given into a vein. So usually our children actually have a central venous line, so we give the medicine through a plastic tube into the big blood vessel above the heart.
Sofia is able to move around and play as normal while the chemotherapy is being administered. So once she's hooked up to the machine, Sofia heads straight for her favourite place, the playroom. What's this machine? What's this one here? It's the robot. Have you ever seen a robot do this? You ever seen that? Should we do it again? No. Oh yeah. Why does chemotherapy cause side effects?
Essentially the way chemotherapy works is it kills the cells in the body that are dividing rapidly, the ones that are growing rapidly. And so it kills the cancer cells, but it also kills other cells, and that's why common side effects include hair loss, the nausea and vomiting from the upset to the sort of the gut, and the effects on the blood count.
Sofia is also having a lumbar puncture today, which will involve an injection of the chemotherapy drug into her spine so it can pass into the CSF, which is the fluid that surrounds the spinal cord and brain. This is to stop the cancer from spreading to the brain. It's a very quick procedure which Sofia is put to sleep for, but Mum Agna finds it difficult saying goodbye even for a moment.
So usually I come in on my own. So when I have a chance to give her to my husband, I do, because it's very hard to see. Her eyes open, but they're rolled up. It's very difficult to see. This is getting easier with time, because I know she's having general anesthetic. She watches Peppa Pig, which is her favorite, and she goes to sleep.
I can see that emotions are high at the centre, as other parents just like Agna and Vinny wait for good news, but unfortunately sometimes it's bad news. I met a family now where the mother just told me that her 2-year-old child has just been told today that her cancer's now terminal and there's nothing they can do. And it really is heart-wrenching when you do meet some people where the news isn't great and the news has gone from bad to worse.
Unfortunately, that is a sad reality with cancer, that you don't always cure it, and it's just making a horrible situation as easy and bearable as it can be, really.
Elsewhere, and a fed-up Sofia has come round from the anaesthetic, just in time for lunch. And today she's ordered spaghetti and a donut.
Ta-da!
Not spaghetti!
Exactly what you ordered.
There's no donut.
There's no donut.
It's coming. It's on the way.
But Sofia is never upset for long, as she's quickly distracted by another visit to the playroom, proving that play is an essential part of treatment.
Hey, she got me timbers.
Bit yucky. Yeah?
It might be a silly question, but does it not just get to you sometimes, or you just want to go mad?
You know that this is making her better. If this is making her feel better, and if she's being cured, we'll do what we have to do.
And there are reasons to stay positive, as more children than ever are surviving cancer.
I think there's been a steady improvement in the success rates for leukemia over the years, and acute lymphoblastic leukemia, the success rates are particularly high. In excess of 90% of patients will be cured now, which is fantastic.
So the future looks good for Sofia, and when her chemotherapy is complete in 2 years' time, all being well, she will be clear of cancer. Do you ever sit and think about 2 years in the future?
There is only one option. She will get better.
Yeah.
That we are not thinking any other scenarios.
There is no other scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what she's doing.
And that's why we are so positive.
My time spent with Sofia and her family has been so uplifting and humbling. As a dad, I don't know how I would cope in their position. But if I ever was faced with anything like this, I can only hope that I would show the same strength that parents Agna and Vinny have shown me today.
Absolutely.
Such a brave little girl. Well, more from Peter next week. If you or your loved ones have been affected by cancer, then please see our website for details.